There we go. Welcome. I'm Ron Brown, and I'll be your host today. This is Tech for Senior. It is episode, Hewie, 167. That means we're getting older, right?
Absolutely.
Anyway, it is June the 12th, 2023. We'll be with you for the next hour and hope to have a great time. We have a big show for you. After the show, of course, we have our Q&A period. We'll be going through the topics today on the show. Bob will be doing the security news update. I'm going to talk about home delivery services, and particularly DoorDash. Hewie's going to talk, of course, about ChatGPT. Bob's going to talk about Adobe FireFly, the new beta version, and Ray, of course, is going to thrill us with his toe-tapping music. And then for our premiere video, which we'll be having, and I'll put the link in the show notes or in the chat for you. But those of you, of course, who have subscribed to our Saturday newsletter will know that Bill James, of course, is going to be doing Windows tips. Huey's going to talk about hacking, but it's really your responsibility and how that affects you. And Mike Ungerman, of course, is going to do a repeat of his very popular part 1, solar panels for powering your home with solar energy. And that will be, of course, in our premiere video that'll be coming on at 1:30. We do tape this, and we will be taping and it will be available later on our website. We also, those of you who saw the schedule for our premiere in the newsletter, you'll notice that this week I always highlight on our Saturday episode a popular, interesting YouTube website that I found. And for those of you this is really interesting, those of you who are history buffs saw in there, it's called The History Squad. And it's by a fellow by the name of Kevin Hicks, who is a really interesting historian and talks about all sorts of things that happened around medieval castles, how they worked, and the battlefields in 1300, and he even goes into the 1300 battlefield medicine and how they did on surgery in the battlefield. And he talks about all sorts of things like that. And he has props and he dresses up. And it's really interesting. So if you are interested in history, the link's in our Saturday newspaper, and I would encourage you to have a look at that. We also, of course, have our Tech for Senior live show. And last week we talked about all the Apple releases at the Worldwide Development Conference. So if you are interested in coming and listening to our Thursday show, just remember we always get people logging in the Zoom meeting, but it's not a Zoom meeting, right? So just go to our website. There's a big red button that says take me to the show, and it'll take you there. We broadcast it out to either our Facebook page or, of course, our YouTube channel. So that's it. Huey. Oh, and the big news is this time next week, I'll be doing my grandpa duties. My daughter is arriving, and we haven't seen her for 3 years, with husband and grandson and Patches the dog. So I'll be doing grandpa duty for the next 2 weeks. So I won't be here, and Huey is going to take the reins for the next couple of weeks. But he's been practicing and doing a pretty good job, right, Huey?
I hope so.
Yeah, you've done.
I got big shoes to fill, though.
I'm sure you'll do just fine.
And I'm the Ed McMahon to Johnny Carson.
Exactly. Yeah, you'll do great. You've done 3 or 4 shows now. It'll be fine. And so he's going to be the host for the next couple of weeks. We will still be having the Thursday show, and I will be there for that. So
link for a premiere service in the.
I'll put it in, Marie. I'll put it in. Yeah, no problem. How was you had a bit of a scare there yesterday on your. Well, that add some excitement to the show, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It wasn't in the WinSig part. It was in the CFCS part, but I'm trying to do some things to make it so it doesn't happen. But somebody signed in at the last minute and then just Zoom bombed us with the tirade, which was both Bob and I reacted really quickly and got them out of there and blocked them.
Yeah. So it is hard. We haven't had a problem since the second episode that we did. That's because, of course, Bob's on his toes and keeps us safe. But it is helpful when you log in, if you do put your name in as when you come in, because we don't know who an iPhone is. We need to know what your name is, and then at least we know who you are. So that's helpful. All right, Bob, how'd your week go?
Very well. A couple of things. That person named iPhone, I just simply said goodbye to him. That was the end of that one. Better safe than sorry.
Right.
In today's episode, Tech for Senior, yeah. The Security News Roundup, there's an article or a mention in there about, senior moment. Side loading of programs on your phone and on your tablets, which is a dangerous thing to do. And on Tuesday's newsletter, I have an article in there that'll tell you just exactly why side loading is something you need to avoid. But you'll find out today that there have been lots of people that have gotten in problems with their phones. I want it for free. This sounds good. It's not on the store, so I get it a different way. Not always a smart move to make.
Thanks for the information. We'll look forward to that in the Tuesday newsletter. If you haven't subscribed to our newsletter, we do produce that twice a week on Tuesdays and Saturdays. And it's a communication tool which we can tell you what we're doing. We put the agendas for the different meetings and what we're going to talk about in there, as well as some very interesting articles. So you make sure you subscribe to that. And again, you can do that at www.techforsenior.com. Ray, is Carol still having lots of fun? She had a good time on the meeting. She's talking up what's happening with Carol?
Absolutely. She really enjoyed it. Liked a lot of the commentary and feedback that she got. So it worked out really well. You mentioned before my toe tapping music. Well, today, in addition to some music, I'm going to have a little bit of a comedy clip. So you want to stay tuned.
Laughter. Some laughter. That'll be good. Yeah, that'll be great. Well, James, what have you got? You're not going to tell us what your gadget for tomorrow is going to be, are you?
Oh,
All right. Is it something I can afford, or is this going to be?
depends what your budget is.
I like the popcorn popper one. That was really an affordable. That was a good one.
Yes, I'm using mine, and I've started using the butter and the salt. I know you could do that, and it works fine.
Works great. Yeah. Throw it in the dishwasher.
I tried using the butter and I was not happy with it. I've gone back to using a bowl and putting butter on it in the bowl.
You got to put more butter. The more butter you put in there, the better it is.
Ron, you're the only doctor I know that encourages more butter and salt.
Butter and
Yep.
salt. Good for you. All right. Bob, are you ready to roll?
Here is my security news roundup for the weekend, June 9th, 2023. Microsoft expects to pay $425 million fine for LinkedIn privacy violations. Microsoft expects to pay a $425 million fine over alleged privacy violations by LinkedIn. The Irish Data Protection Commission is currently investigating LinkedIn's actions in 2018. The investigation centers around if LinkedIn's targeted advertising practices violated European data protection law. Since the order is not public, we don't have any specifics regarding the allegations. Targeted advertising is one focus of the European Union at the moment, as it relies heavily on people's data. These fines are also a great income generator. Read more at windowscentral.com. Magento, WooCommerce, WordPress, and Shopify exploited in web skimmer attack. Cybersecurity researchers have unearthed a new ongoing magenta-style web skimmer campaign that's designed to steal personally identifiable information and credit card data from e-commerce websites. A noteworthy aspect that sets it apart from other magenta campaigns is that the hijacked sites further serve as makeshift command and control servers, using the cover to facilitate the distribution of malicious code without the knowledge of the victim sites. Web security company Akamai said it identified victims of varying sizes in North America, Latin America, and Europe, potentially putting the personal data of thousands of site visitors at risk of being harvested and sold for illicit profits. Read more at thehackernews.com. Amazon's Ring cameras were used to spy on customers. Every single Amazon Ring employee was able to access every single customer video, even when it wasn't necessary for their jobs. Not only that, but the employees, along with workers from a third-party company in Ukraine, could also download any of those videos and then save and share them as they liked before July 2017. That's what the FTC has alleged in a recent complaint from which Amazon is facing a settlement of $5.8 million. And unsurprisingly, some employees abused that access right. Read more at malwarebytes.com. U.S. hospital forced to divert ambulances after cyber attack. The Idaho Falls Community Hospital fell victim to a cyber attack on Monday, May 29, 2023. As a result, the hospital had to divert ambulances to other nearby hospitals and close some of its clinics. The hospital is keeping the public updated through its website and Facebook page. According to the initial statement, the hospital's IT team identified the attack quickly and took immediate action to limit the impacts and keep all patients' information safe and secure. While the exact nature of the cyber attack is unknown at this point, and the hospital calls it a virus, it is more likely that it is dealing with a ransomware attack. Read more at malwarebytes.com. 0-day alert. Google issues patch for new Chrome vulnerability. Update now. Google last Monday released security updates to patch a high-severity flaw in its Chrome web browser that it said is being actively exploited in the wild. Type confusion in version 8 of Google Chrome prior to 114.0.5735.110 allowed a remote attacker to potentially exploit heap corruption via a crafted HTML page, according to its NIST's National Vulnerability Database. Google, as is typically the case, did not disclose details of the nature of the attacks, but noted it's aware that an exploit for CVE 2023-3079 exists in the wild. Google has addressed a total of 3 actively exploited 0 days in Chrome since the start of the year. Update now. Read more at thehackernews.com. Over 60,000 adware apps posing as cracked versions of popular apps target Android devices. Thousands of adware apps for Android have been found to masquerade as cracks or mudded versions of popular applications to serve unwanted ads to users as part of a campaign ongoing since October 2022. The campaign is designed to aggressively push adware to Android devices with the purpose to drive revenue, Bitdefender said in a technical report shared with the Hacker News. However, the threat actors involved can easily switch tactics to redirect users to other types of malware, such as banking Trojans, to steal credentials and financial information or ransomware. Read more at thehackernews.com. New York City latest to sue Hyundai and Kia, claiming their cars are too easy to steal. Hyundai and Kia cars were stolen 977 times in New York City in the first 4 months of 2023, and authorities have had enough. The startling figure was rolled out as the Big Apple filed suit against the company's U.S. subsidiaries, both owned by Hyundai Motor Company, alleging that their failure to implement modern security controls has created a public nuisance. The lawsuit argues that while the days of hot wiring cars with nothing more than a screwdriver are largely over, thanks to immobilizer devices tied to radio-equipped key fobs, there are two major outliers. In my humble opinion, the mayor needs to go after the criminals that commit the theft, although the payout may not be as lucrative. Read more on theregister.com. This week's must-see on my YouTube channel. Milford is a historic town in the beautiful Pocono Mountains. This is also the last town we'll explore in PA. In the next episode, we'll start exploring New Jersey, with Princeton, New Jersey as our first stop. Please watch my video on that topic at the link listed. Did you know? On June 26, 2009, Twitter, Wikipedia, and AOL Instant Messenger all crashed at 3:15 p.m. when news broke of Michael Jackson's death. In 1999, Google co-founder Larry Page wanted to sell his fledgling company to Excite for around $750,000. Excite declined. Today, Google is worth around $2 trillion. You can tell more about a person by what he says about others than you can by what others say about him. Thanks to Audrey Hepburn. Just thought you'd want to know. And that's a wrap for another week of my Security News Roundup. Stay safe, stay secure. I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Bob. I was just thinking, I was introduced Ray as the nicest man you'll ever meet, right? So, according to Audrey Hepburn, it's the right approach, right?
Correct.
All right, let's get on with it. I have home delivery. Let's see what we can talk about that. Here's Ron Brown with Tech for Senior, where we make videos to help seniors understand technology and stay in their home longer. Today I want to talk to you about home delivery services. Have you ever used one? Do you know anything about it? Well, I just used DoorDash this week, and I wanted to tell you all about it and some of the advantages I think seniors can have with home delivery services. Now, I've actually made videos about this before. The last one I reviewed was Instacart at Costco, and I made a video, and you'll find it up here, called Controversy at Costco. But today I want to tell you about a news article we discussed on Tech for Senior Live on our Thursday show. And this was an announcement in Canada that DoorDash was developing a partnership with Amazon. Now, DoorDash is a home delivery service, which we'll talk about in a minute, and they have two options when you sign up. You can sign up for a free account, in which you pay for the services when you use them, or they have Prime or Pro account, if you can call it, for $120 a year, and you don't have to pay anything. It's all included. So DoorDash and Amazon Prime in Canada just announced a partnership. Yes, a partnership. And if you have Amazon Prime in Canada, currently, as of last week, you will now have the DoorDash Prime feature included in your Amazon Prime account. What does this mean? Well, if you had a DoorDash Prime account, you'd be paying $120 plus your fee for your Amazon Prime membership. But now, because of the promotion, you're able to get your Prime DoorDash account as part of your Amazon membership. So it's free, and it's a great feature. If you do live in Canada and you have Amazon Prime, you get this great feature. Now, in the United States, they have a relationship with Grubhub. Similar feature, and currently they have a promotion on, and you actually get 2 years or $256 value with Grubhub that you use through your Amazon Prime account. So these are added features to your Amazon account that you should know about because they're free and you might as well use them. And I did. And I used DoorDash Thursday, and I'm going to tell you all about it. So let's look at the advantages of using DoorDash for senior citizens. Well, senior citizens may have problems with mobility or transportation, and this saves the effort of cooking or going out to eat. You know, when I was a practicing physician, we had a thing called Meals on Wheels. This is where the hospital would create some meals and volunteers would take it out to seniors who had problems with mobility or transportation. I never thought that food was that good. Now with DoorDash, most of the major restaurants in our area all participate in the DoorDash system. It is a big win for restaurants. I think that it helps them sell more food, and it's certainly convenient for seniors because you now have a wide range of different types of food that you can order to keep you in your own home when you really don't feel like cooking. DoorDash makes it very easy to do online ordering. I'll show you that in a minute. And also it has a no contact option for you, so you don't have to see the person who delivers your food. All the transactions occur online, and it just shows up with the ring of a doorbell. So let me show you how it works. Now we will be talking today about DoorDash because I live in Canada. I live on the west coast on Vancouver Island in a community of about 80,000 people. We have a lot of very good restaurants, and most of them do participate in DoorDash. Is this a worthwhile service that seniors should be using? I'm going to say maybe. Now let me explain that in this video. So how do you start out with your DoorDash account? Well, of course, you can do it as a mobile app on your phone, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. Primarily today, we're going to talk about establishing your account through a PC or laptop, doing it on the web. So first of all, you want to go to just go to DoorDash's website, and you want to create an account if you don't have one. In the process of the account creation, they're going to ask you if you have an Amazon Prime account, and you'll say, yes, I do, and it will link the two up. So now when you type in DoorDash on your computer in the search function, it'll automatically take you into your Amazon account, and you'll be ordering DoorDash through your Amazon account. And it is in this window. You'll see here at the top, I'm in my Amazon account. I just typed DoorDash into the browser and put me right here to the order menu within my Amazon account. And that's how you'll be doing most of your ordering. Now, as you see in the next menu, we've got some deals. And that's the other thing about the DoorDash Prime version is that they have a whole bunch of promotions all year round. And they're going to give you lots of these promotions, and you can save a lot of money. And on this particular one, it says that you'll save 50% on each order over $15, and you get that 3 times on this promotion. So this is gonna pay for your Amazon Prime membership very quickly. I'll show you how this works. Anyway, you want to take advantages of these specials because it's great. I'll show you how it worked out today. So the order I'm going to show you today is from Men Restaurant locally. This is a restaurant that's been in our valley for many years. It's an Indian restaurant. We know the people that own the restaurant, and it is a great place to eat. They have very authentic East Indian food with unique spices brought over from India to create this unique taste. Both my wife and I do most of our cooking at home. We're both amateur chefs, and we have lots of fun cooking. So we don't eat out very much. but we do enjoy Manvero's, and I often order takeout online. I go down, pick it up. I'm usually standing in a line with the DoorDash people because so many people use that service with this restaurant. Anyway, it's we enjoy that, so I decided to use DoorDash with Manvero as my very first order in this service. So let me show you how that works. All right, we're now at my Chrome browser. We're going to type in DoorDash in the search here. Let's do DoorDash. And if you see here, this is now going to take me directly into my Amazon account, even though I just typed DoorDash in the Google search engine. So here it takes me right into my Amazon Prime account, and we are going to use DoorDash, and we're going to click the order now. Now this takes me into DoorDash. You'll see that, of course, it is my account. This is my account here. It has my address. And we are going to do delivery, of course, it defaults to. But the thing I'd like you to notice at the top here is that you have your choice of grocery, convenience, or retail. So not only is it for restaurants, but you can also do grocery shopping, convenience, retail. Again, this would change a little bit depending on the location you're in and what services are offered in your area. Now, as you come down here, you'll see my saved store because I've already ordered with Manvero's. I put a little heart here and it saved it, so it's ready for me when I want to order. But let's look at the options that we have. We have a lot of restaurants, pizza, burgers, chicken, Mexican, fast food. Let's see what's available in fast food. So you can have, we have Popeyes here now. Did you know that? We have Popeyes in Comox. So there you go. You can get Popeyes, McDonald's, even a food truck. Can you believe that? Wendy's, A&W, KFC, Dairy Queen, all of these are all available fast food section. Now, before we go to ordering my dinner at Manvero, I want to draw your attention to the top here under groceries. Because if you are a senior, you're having trouble getting groceries, this may be an option for shopping. Let's click groceries and see where we go here. Now, you'll see what we have here for grocery stores. And one of the big supermarkets we have in this area is called the Real Canadian Superstore. And it is an option now with DoorDash. So you can have actually DoorDash do your grocery shopping. If you click this, you'll see now that we are in the Real Canadian Superstore, and we have a wide variety of products that you can order. I'm not going to go through the whole menu, but if you want some steak tonight or whatever food you want, you can order it through DoorDash as well. So it works as a grocery shopping service for you. We're going to use it tonight to order my dinner from Manvero's, but you could use it for shopping for your groceries. By the way, that steak looks really good. Wow. Oh no, we're gonna have Indian food tonight. So here is Manvero's in DoorDash. The prices of the food are exactly the same as they are on Manvero's website. I eat there a lot, so I know that these are not marked up prices. These are the exact prices that you would pay if you ate at the restaurant. Now, on here, you'll see that there is a $2.99 delivery fee. That you'll find out that this, of course, is waived because you have the DoorDash Prime account, which is included in your Amazon account. So if we come over here, you'll see what I've actually ordered, and you'll see what you've ordered previously. And you can come down, and they pretty much have the full menu is on here. You've got appetizers. And I'm not going to go through all this, but you have a wide variety of choices. When you order it, you can choose your spice level, mild, medium, or hot, any sides you want, recommended sides, and you can just add that to the cart. But I'm going to show you what I ordered, and you'll get the idea pretty quick how this works. This is the order we've placed now. If you look over on the right-hand side, you'll see the 4 items that I've ordered in my cart. The first one is butter chicken, garlic naan, etc. And we're now going to go up to the checkout list. So this is the checkout order form. And let's go over this because this is really where the important part of the transaction occurs. This is where you pay, and let's look at the fees and costs associated with that. If we come up at the top, you'll see it says delivery. So we are not picking this up. It'll be a delivery. You could, I guess, pick this up and get the credit that we were going to get, but I want it delivered. It's a standard delivery time. You can't schedule it for later. From the time that I ordered this to the time it was delivered to my door, I would say is about 20 minutes, not the 30 to 45 minutes. This is a very average time based on, I guess, local conditions. Gives my address that it's going to, and I have it set to leave at my door. I have a non-contact delivery, so I don't want to particularly have anything to do with the people delivering this. And again, you can change that if you want, but I would suggest you just leave it at my door. It gives a phone number. In my case, when I don't know if it was because it was my first order with DoorDash, but they did send me a text message with a code that I had to put in to complete the order. This is like two-step verification. I'm not sure if that will happen every time. I guess, and also there's an option to send it as a gift if you want. Coming down to payment details, well, of course, you have to pay. You have your choice of credit card, debit card, or PayPal. I don't know why PayPal wouldn't work. That was my first choice, was to pay it with PayPal. I'm not sure if it was because I was getting a discount on the delivery or it was my first order, but I could not get the PayPal option to work. It worked fine with my credit card, put the credit card information in, and it worked just fine. You come up here, this was just, they were commenting to add a payment service, which was my credit card. Place the order. Once that is completed, you simply place the order and it goes through and you get a confirmation email. Now coming down, you'll see the promo code that I put in was called Prime, Prime. Put the promo code in. If you look down, you'll see that the discount I got was $16 off the order. So just for using DoorDash, I saved $16 off the order, which is a great promotion. It's something that I got for free. Now then, if you come down, you'll see, of course, below the subtotal of $62.96 is the delivery fee, which you don't pay since you have DoorDash Prime. You then come down to fees and estimated tax. In British Columbia, you have the GST and PST tax, which of course is 12%. If you take 12% of $63, you come out with $8. So $8 of the fees and estimated tax leave about a $2.50 administrative charge that goes to DoorDash. So yes, you do pay that, but the delivery fee is waived. You come down then and you'll see that the Dasher tip is there. You're assigned a Dasher who's going to be the person delivering your food. You can choose whether you want a 10%, 12%, 18%, however you want to tip. I left 12%. That's really up to you. If you choose the other option, you'll see that you have the opportunity to put whatever you want in there. And if you didn't want to leave a tip, you could just put $0.00. You then hit total and place the order. That's it. The next thing you'll get is an email that says your food has been delivered, and I'll show you that in just a minute. I placed the order in my office, went upstairs, put some rice on the stove, then sat down in my lazy boy chair to read the newspaper. I got through the first page and got this email saying your no contact order was dropped off. It was there on my front doorstep. Took about 20 minutes. We had a great dinner, as we usually do when we order takeout from Manvero's. So what was my impression of DoorDash? Well, I think it worked great. It cost me $2.50. The delivery fee was waived, but if you take the tax off, the administration fee was, I think, very reasonable. The tip I would have given to the restaurant, but DoorDash got that. And again, that's variable. You can decide what you want. If you have an Amazon Prime membership, then of course this is included as part of your Amazon Prime membership in Canada. In the United States, it's Grubhub, which works similar to this service. So I think particularly for seniors, if if you have problems with mobility or trouble getting to the restaurant, or in fact, if it's just that cold, rainy, miserable night and you don't want to go out, is it worth $2.50 to have the food delivered? And in fact, I did save $16 on the meal because of the promotion. And I think they're going to have lots of promotions through the year. So it probably will easily pay for my Amazon Prime membership. I think it's a good deal in my circumstances. It's Ron Brown with Tech for Senior. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video as much as I had making it. Remember that like and subscribe. Until we see you again, have a great day. Okay, Hewie, you're up.
Okay. ChatGPT, a well-known but underused chatbot. I'm Hewie Poplock. ChatGPT, what is it? Well, ChatGPT is an AI-powered chatbot that utilizes natural language processing to converse with users on a variety of topics and provide helpful responses. ChatGPT is an open-access online chatbot that allows users to ask questions and request content. It was launched in late 2022 and quickly became the fastest-growing web application in history. Despite its popularity, few Americans have actually tried ChatGPT. About 58% of Americans have heard of ChatGPT. This awareness is higher among younger adults, college graduates, and people with higher incomes. Young adults who have heard of ChatGPT are more likely than their older counterparts to have used it. Those 50 to 64, 12% have used it for entertainment, 10 to learn something new, and 8 for tasks at work. 65 and older, 4 have used it for entertainment, 5 to learn something new, and another 4% for tasks at work. This is from the Pew Research Center. Only 14% of Americans have used ChatGPT. Those who have used it most often use it for entertainment or to learn something new. A small number of people have used ChatGPT for work. Those with higher household incomes and more formal education are particularly likely to know about ChatGPT. You can see the numbers there for 50 to 64 and 65 plus. People who have used ChatGPT have mixed opinions about its usefulness. Some people find it to be very useful, while others find it to be only somewhat useful. There is no clear consensus on whether ChatGPT is a valuable tool or not. Again, ChatGPT adult users under 50 are more likely than those 50 and older to say it has been highly useful. ChatGPT is a popular new chatbot, but few Americans have actually tried it. Those who have used it have mixed opinions about its usefulness. Thank you for learning about ChatGPT and how it can enhance your communication experience. Give me a second to get the second video up there to talk a little bit more about ChatGPT. ChatGPT works. A deep dive into natural language processing. I'm Hewie Poplock. ChatGPT is a conversational AI chatbot created by OpenAI. It's designed to answer questions, provide information, and solve a range of problems and communicate the response back to you in a human-like manner. ChatGPT is trained on a massive amount of data from the internet, including sources like Reddit discussions, to help it learn dialogue and attain a human style of responding. How ChatGPT works. ChatGPT uses natural language processing, or NLP, to understand what people are saying and respond in a way that sounds like a human. When someone asks ChatGPT a question, it breaks down the language input, such as sentences or paragraphs, into smaller components and analyzes their meanings and relationships between words and phrases. It then searches through its memory to find relevant information based on what it has read in the past and uses it to generate a response. ChatGPT doesn't work on a sentence level, but instead it generates text of what words, sentences, and even paragraphs or stanzas could follow. Training ChatGPT. ChatGPT is trained on a massive amount of data from the internet, including sources like Reddit discussions, to help it learn dialogue and attain a human style of responding. The creators have used a combination of both supervised learning and reinforcement learning to fine-tune ChatGPT. The reinforcement learning component specifically makes ChatGPT unique using a technique called reinforcement learning from human feedback, or RLHF, which uses human feedback in the training loop to minimize harmful, untruthful, and/or biased outputs. Potential limitations. While ChatGPT can produce coherent and contextually relevant responses, it may not always give accurate answers. It's important to be careful and double-check information when using it. Critics argue that these tools are just very good at putting words into an order that makes sense from a statistical point of view, but they cannot understand the meaning or know whether the statements it makes are correct. Here's a summary. ChatGPT is an advanced chatbot that has the potential to make people's lives easier and to assist with everyday tedious tasks, such as writing an email or having to navigate the web for information. It represents a tremendous leap in the world of AI and NLP. However, it's important to be aware of its potential limitations and use it with caution. Tokenization. The input text is broken down into smaller pieces called tokens. It uses a tokenizer to segment the input text into individual words, phrases, or symbols, and then creates tokens that represent each of these segments. Encoding. The tokens are converted into numerical representations that the neural network can understand. It uses an encoder to convert each token into a vector of numbers that represents its meaning and context. Neural network processing. The encoded input is passed through multiple layers of the transformer neural network to generate a response. The transformer network uses attention mechanisms to analyze the relationships between the input tokens and generate a response that's relevant and appropriate based on its vast knowledge base. Decoding. The numerical representation of the generated response is converted back into text format. It uses a decoder to convert the numerical representations back into human readable text. Response generation. The generated response is returned to the user. It generates a response based on the vast knowledge and analysis of the input query. So it returns a response that is intended to be relevant and helpful to the user. Learning and improvement. The model continuously learns and improves over time through feedback and adjustments to its parameters based on a vast amount of training data. It is trained on a massive data set of text from a variety of sources and is constantly updated with new data to improve its accuracy and relevance. Thanks for watching. I'm Hewie Poplock. The sum of what I just showed you is the fact that the search engine goes out and finds the data that's out there. What ChatGPT and other AI do is it converts everything into numbers and goes out and figures out what should come next. So you might have a word or a couple of words And then it's going to add on to those words from what it just saw, what it knows, and it keeps adding on in pieces. It doesn't just go out and find it in a big, vast bunch of information.
So I got my letter this morning from Adobe. And as it says, it's time to try out Adobe FireFly. I was on the waiting list, and this morning I received this notice which says, "You're in." After I selected the link to check out Adobe FireFly, there was some signing in required, and you had to agree to their rules and regulations. But it was fairly simple and straightforward. Once that was all done, this is what I was greeted with, and this is what it looks like. Adobe FireFly Beta. This is the home. There's a gallery, about, which gives you information, and on the facts you get some information. But once you get your acceptance letter, you can go through this at your own pace. Important thing here is you get to try out these features. Text to image, text effect, and the recolor vectors, that's still coming. So that's something to look forward to. Text to image. Let's go to there. I'll put in something simple. So let's generate. And as you see, it doesn't take long. Actually, pretty darn good. Now, what's selected here is art, and the style is popular. Well, let's take a look and see what it looks like if you select graphic. Still under popular. And there's what comes up with popular. Let's look under photo and see what it generates. Pretty darn good. And when we go to content type and go to none, let's get a little bit more creative. Let's go to movements. You also have something called material, concept. Many things to check out on this. But this is just a quick little look. Hopefully you get your invitation and start exploring. Nothing better than checking out something new. If you hover on the picture, you actually get to see it close up. Stay secure. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Did we change our logo? I like some of
Whatever.
it.
Yeah, that's well done. And there's several other programs out there too that.
That's good, Bob. Yeah. So that's that's free. Now that's the beta, which is free. Do you have to own?
You don't have to own anything. You don't have to have Adobe. I don't. As long as it's beta, I have no clue what will happen. And that goes for any of them. If you start off free, eventually somebody has to pay the piper.
All right. All right. Before you get to our YouTube group, this is the time in the show where Ray does his music. So we are going to say goodbye to you. If you want to pop over and participate in the Q&A, we're happy to have you. We've got lots of room, but and hopefully we'll see you next week, same time, same place. So thank you for coming. All right, Ray, take it away.
All right, thank you very much, Ron. Okay, today I want to talk about Ed Ames and the Ames Brothers. Now, the Ames Brothers, a popular American singing group of the 50s and 60s, they left an indelible mark on the music industry with their harmonious vocals and catchy melodies. Consisting of four brothers, Joe, Gene, Vic, and Ed Ames, the group achieved great success and became a household name during their heyday. They hailed from Massachusetts. the Ames brothers began their musical journey in the late 1940s, honing their skills as a quartet and gaining recognition for their tight harmonies and polished performances. They signed with Coral Records in 1947 and released their first hit single, Sentimental Me, way back in 1949. The song became an instant success, propelling the brothers into the limelight. Now, throughout the 1950s, the Ames brothers continued to churn out chart-topping hits, including Rag Mop, The Naughty Lady of Shady Lane, and You. A unique blend of traditional pop, close harmonies, and smooth vocal deliveries endeared them to audiences worldwide, making them one of the era's most beloved singing groups. In addition to their musical achievements, the Ames brothers starred in their own television series called The Ames Brothers Show back in 1955. Now, the youngest brother was Ed Ames. He was born July 9, 1927. He was a singer, actor, and entertainer. With a career spanning over 6 decades, Ames garnered fame for his rich baritone voice, versatile acting skills, and magnetic stage presence. He appeared on the big screen in films like Daniel Boone and The War Wagon, captivating audiences with his on-screen presence. In addition, he had a successful stage career, starring in productions such as Carnival and The Fantastics. And those preceding paragraphs were provided to me by chat@openai.com. Now, Ed Ames died at his home in Los Angeles on May 21, 2023, at the age of 95. Now, while he'll be remembered for his many accomplishments, as I described above, perhaps none is more memorable than his appearance on The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson in 1965, where he showcased his tomahawk throwing abilities. So after the song, I'll show the clip of what happened, and according to Wikipedia, the audience reaction has, quote, has been called the longest sustained laugh by a live audience in TV history, unquote. But first, an edited clip from The Tonight Show in 1964 with the song Try to Remember. Does that bring back some memories?
All the modern singers now.
What year was that?
1964.
Oh, wow. Amazing. Yes. Yeah. Well done. Well done. You always keep us on our toes. You never know what you're going to do.
That's the idea.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Ray. It's top of the hour. Another episode has gone by. We're going to move into the question and answer time now. And if you do have a question or you want to talk about anything, just put your hand up. Before we get to you, Bill, I want to just thank, if you have to leave, thank you so much for coming. We do appreciate you being here. And don't forget, we do have our Thursday show this week. We'll be putting the topics in the newsletter tomorrow. And don't forget our newsletter tomorrow. Bill will have his gadget and let us know what it's going to be tomorrow. I always am excited about that. So
Father's Day.
Oh yeah, it's going to be Father's Day. Yes, indeed. So that'll be great. And then of course, don't forget next week and the week after, Hewie will be on deck and he'll be looking after you and treating you really well. I'm sure he'll do a very good job. My best Father's Day will be giving my daughter a big hug when she arrives this Sunday on Father's Day, which will be great. So we look forward to that. Yes, and so if you have to leave, and don't forget our premiere video that I put the link in. I'll throw the link up again in a couple of minutes, but there's lots of good information on our video today. Just before I get into the questions, just to follow up on my video. Now, I had mentioned in there that I did another video on controversy at Costco, and I did that video. I think I played it for everyone. It was a couple of years ago. My experience, we had someone in the chat mentioned Instacart, and of course Costco has a relationship with Instacart, and if you go to the Costco site, at least in Canada, you go to the Costco site, there's Instacart, so you can get deliveries from Costco directly to your home. But the problem I found, and I tried the delivery service and I made a video about it, but the problem is that the prices, if you ordered like a flat of water, and let's say it was $20 at the warehouse at Costco, then the Instacart price was $25. So there was a $5 upcharge on the one item. And then if you add a bunch more items in there, there was an upcharge on all those items, which ended up, it was always about $5 an item, and it went up. And of course, that added up. If you had 5 items, it could be $25 that you're paying for the privilege of having it delivered. And I just didn't like that. And I thought it was sneaky the way they did it as well. So I wrote this, I made a video about it, and that's why I put controversy at Costco. So I don't know if it's the same in the United States, if everyone has had the same experience. But the nice thing I found about DoorDash, my experience so far, was the prices at DoorDash were exactly what you would pay if you went to the restaurant. It's not, there's no charge on that. So that was my comment on that. Uber Eats is great. We don't have Uber on Vancouver Island. I guess they're just getting it in Victoria, but we don't have in our area. We don't have Uber Eats. I would be interested to know if people use that and what their experience is with Uber Eats. I don't know very much about it, but it's certainly, I think, a good option. All right, Bill, go ahead.
Oh, I think I'm muted. No, I'm not. This is a question for Bob. How did you get the invite? I have a paid subscription of Adobe, and I didn't get any. That's my first seeing of that.
Well, let's put it this way. I asked, they had an offer, put in your request. I did. They came back to me. I don't know. Don't ask me, ask them. How come I got chosen and you haven't? And you have a paid subscription. I don't.
So did it come to you through email?
I spotted it on one of the many, many different things that I watch. It said that it was available. All you had to do was sign up for it and then wait. I signed up.
Yeah, not even mentioned. I went to their website. It's not even mentioned there either. It's a very good program. I like that a lot.
Yes, yes. Excellent. Unfortunately, eventually it'll disappear unless, like you have paid. And it should actually be part of the paid version already.
Well, they have, it's sort of it's a subscription, and you can pick and choose. It's sort of a smorgasbord. It's called the Creative Cloud.
Okay.
Drew, go ahead.
I'm just getting back to Helen with her question that she had earlier in the meeting. While it may be possible to install the Samsung Health app on your computer and on your phone can't sync with both the watch and the computer at the same time. So you can't put the Android software on Windows and have it work the way it does work on your phone. But the next best option is to use the Windows Phone Link software, and you can mirror your Android phone screen onto your Windows desktop, which will make it larger than your actual phone screen, which is about the best that you can do.
Thanks, Drew. Diane.
I bought another power bank charging. You know what I mean, because I live in Florida and with hurricanes. So it came with a cord to plug in at the bottom with the small, I guess that's the lightning, you call that lightning, and then a USB. But you can see then these fabulous directions, and very small. I can't even see them with a magnifying glass. But there's very little in there about English. There is a diagram, and I was curious about this anyway. It shows the way I've got it plugged in to charge. It has 2 inputs. One's USB, one's USB-C, right? And so USB-C is going to charge it faster, right?
Yes.
And so I'm looking on Amazon. The diagram shows that on the end, rather than plugging the end that would go into the computer, there is one of those, what do you call it? It's just the electrical plug. You know, you call that a brick or a block. You know, I'm looking on Amazon. So I need USB-C and I need a wall charger, right? If I want to charge it that way.
You can do that, or if your computer has the USB connection, you can plug it into your computer. The great thing about USB-C, it's dual direction, so the charge can go either way. So if you have that, as I said, plug, I charge my phone all the time with my desktop computer that has a USB-C connection. It's the super fast way to charge it, and
Yeah.
it goes both ways.
So if I buy a USB-C, there's only one kind. I can't, there's not like, I have to decide what kind to buy.
Now, there is on the Apple side, they have something equivalent. And but if it's just USB-C, there's just one type.
Yeah, I don't want to buy it for this mobile charger that I have. I want to keep those charged up, during hurricane season. Okay, and then the block, just buy any, right?
All as you need is this, like I have a bunch of these at home. These are just little adapters that you see it's got an end that plugs into the wall, right?
Yeah,
And then you plug your USB in the back here, okay? You just need an adapter, like that to convert it. You can plug it into your computer, but maybe you don't have your computer by you. Maybe you're traveling, you just want to plug it into the wall to charge it up, right? So these are about $5. You just need one of these and it will plug in. You can plug your USB cord into the back of this, and that's all you need.
so the USB-C the other end would plug into that, and then I'd plug it in the wall. Okay.
Buy the cords on Amazon. It didn't come with one, eh? You didn't get an adapter.
I just got, it was the Anchor brand, and you can't see that because my screen's blurred. I'm sorry.
They didn't give you a plug. Yeah, okay. Well,
They didn't give me a plug. They just gave me the cord to go from the charger to the computer to charge it up.
You got to remember. Oh, I'm sorry, Bill. Go ahead.
I was going to say, if you have a brick on some of your others, they're interchangeable. You can use that.
You got
you don't
one.
have-
If you have one for your
Right.
phone, use that one.
You don't have to go
Oh.
out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take the same power cord that you use for your phone.
Yep.
Charge it today. Just don't plug it into the battery.
Okay. All right.
But the one thing you were saying, Diane, is charging your computer. That's not going to be powerful enough probably to do your computer. Plus your computer, depending upon what kind of a connection it has for its power block for the computer, it's going to have to be in that kind of a format. That one uses your USB-C as a charger, then you probably can use it. But if it doesn't, if you've got a brick and it's got a little round thing that plugs into a round hole in your computer, it certainly isn't going to charge it because you don't have the right connection. You can't just put it in a port and make it charge.
And if
Yeah.
it's a Dell, it may not work at all because it recognizes the fact it's not their device. So it won't work. I know, I went through.
I have a couple of
Have a USB connection, not that little round one.
if your block is a 45-watt capacity, it will charge a laptop.
Okay.
Most laptops anyway. But if it's small, when they first came out years ago, they were only made for cell phones. It's only been in recent times that they've increased the wattage power that they can actually charge a laptop as well.
But
Okay.
then the little block that you have, you've got to make sure it's powerful enough to handle a 45 watt, your unit. If it's a 45 watt, you've got to make sure that block will handle it, because there's some that are only 0.5 volt amps and some that are 1, some are 2, some are 4.
I see on Amazon right now, it says 5 volt.
Yeah, so you've got to make sure that it will support, if it's 45 watts, it'll support a 45 watt. And then you got to be careful with the cables as well. Make sure you get a pretty good cable.
You can quickly tell the difference in price. A 45-watt power bank will probably run you close to $50 as opposed to the ones that charge a cell phone, which are under 20.
And is that Anchor is an extremely popular power bank. And so if you just go to the Amazon and you look on where you bought it and look at the recommended options at the bottom, you'll have a whole link of different accessories.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. I don't know what to buy, and I really didn't understand USB.
Yeah. It'll be all there for you. As I said, it's a really common power bank.
Okay, thank you all.
All right. Yes. There you go. Any more questions? Any comments? Yes. Has anyone used Uber Eats? Any comments? I'm curious. I've never used that.
Well, it's,
Right.
I haven't really noticed a difference in any of them, actually.
Right.
I've used, what's the other one? Instacart, and they all seem to be similar to me, at least where I live.
All right. Murray, do you have your grandson uses, you said he uses works for DoorDash. Unmute yourself. We can't hear you.
His microphone's not.
Forget about the button. Yeah.
Oh.
Since he retired, he's moved to Pembroke, which is fairly small. And he
Right.
does door dashing for Petawawa and Pembroke. And he practically every time we try to FaceTime with him, he's in his car doing door dashing.
Retirement. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
but
money.
well, his daughter's getting married in November, and he wants to make enough money to pay for the wedding. And I don't think it's going to be a cheap wedding.
So maybe that's an option. That's another take on this. Is it could be supplementary retirement income by working for DoorDash for seniors, right? Maybe that's the next video we need to make, right?
But the thing is, where he lives, it's a small town, and the two towns are close by, Petawawa and Pembroke. So he rarely has to drive more than 10 kilometers to deliver, which means that he can do quite a few in a day. He can make up to $300 a day.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess if you got a route and I don't know how would they, because there's different.
What they do is they send him a message saying there's an order at such and such a place going to
Right.
such and such a place. Do you want to do it? And
What would happen? What would happen if you had 100 orders come in and you only had 5 drivers? Like, how
well,
would
you just take them in priority.
really? Okay.
Yeah. That's all
Yeah.
they can do.
Yeah. Well, mine came like lickety split. Like, I could not believe how fast that order came. Like, it must have been flying out of the kitchen, and I don't know how he got to my house. So
Mother's Day, my son ordered something from a gift package for my wife from Purdy's, and it would have been here a lot faster if the person didn't have to wait a long time at Purdy's to pick it up.
but I think those DoorDash people, they get in, like, I don't think they have to wait in line. They get priority treatment, and
Well, it depends on the location.
Okay.
And some of his orders are like he has to go into the grocery store or the drugstore and do all the
Right.
shopping.
right.
But then,
right,
of course, that pays a lot more.
right. Heh.
That's also why some customers are very happy with the service, some are not. If
Right.
you're number 15 and there's only 2 drivers, you won't be very happy. Okay. And if
Yeah.
you're the first one in line, you will be happy. So no, it's not always the driver's fault. Sometimes
If they make an order on the error on the order, that also makes customer unhappy.
correct.
One thing
Right.
too is that your app that you have will track the transaction as well as you
Right.
can communicate with the person that's delivering.
The other thing is, Bill, is that at least on mine, when you're ordering from the restaurant from DoorDash, it gave you an estimated time of delivery prior to you putting the order in. So if you said, "Oh, it's going to be 2 hours before I get it," you say, "I'm not going to put the order in," right? So it gives you that as well. So anyway, all right. Listen, another week has gone by. Don't forget our premiere version. It's time to say goodbye. I will see everyone in 3 weeks. I'll be back in 3 weeks.
Have a good time with your grandchildren.
Yes, it's going to be
Actually,
live.
my son is coming out here in a week for a week from northern Michigan, so we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. So anyway, Hewie, have a great show next week, and
I'm sure we will.
let me know how it all works out.
You can watch the recording.
Yeah, I put the recording out. That's no problem. All right, we'll see everyone in 3 weeks for me, but Hewie will be here next week, and the usual gang, and maybe we'll see you on Thursday. Don't forget we have our Thursday show. Bye now.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
everybody.